Ever since September 10th, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, there is absolutely no doubt about it at all at this point that we have seen a wide range of celebrities, whether it's writers, producers, actors, actresses, comedians, or even those like authors, specifically, for example, like Stephen King, mocking, lying about Charlie Kirk, or even attacking the guy after his death. And it really just goes to show you exactly what Hollywood is all about, what show business is actually going through right now by using this as an opportunity to really just push nothing more than an anti-Trump messaging campaign. And the biggest example of all has a lot to do with actress Jane Fonda after her falling out with HBO over her Charlie Kirk and Trump comments. And it's only getting worse from that point forward. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Hollywood right now is that, yes, we do know that a lot of studios are struggling. They are dealing with a lot of box office failures because people, and this is the reality of everything now, people are just not going to the movie theaters as much. Ever since 2020, that's just a fact. You know, we've seen a sharp decline, not just due to the fact that the prices have gone up, and it's really hard to go there with a very large family, but a lot of people do not want to support a lot of these actors and actresses using their platform, using their fan base, essentially, to push a political agenda or anything like that. Now, what's interesting here, though, has a lot to do with Jane Fonda, once again, coping hard over the fact that she was indeed fired by HBO. She lost her fitness/yoga/meditation series, this guided meditation show that was going to be 3 seasons, as it turns out, and it was going to pay her a total of $30 million, specifically 30.2. We'll go more into the actual specifics about that later on. However, with the majority of Hollywood celebrities using the Charlie Kirk assassination as a way to push their anti-Trump messaging campaign ahead of the midterms, one significant development going on now involves more to do with Jane Fonda, once again going on yet another tirade since she received endless backlash after her Charlie Kirk comments. Now, a crucial update to this entire situation now involves how Jane Fonda's behavior hit rock bottom after she lost millions of dollars from her HBO deal that she was fired from after her comments. HBO was planning to do 3 seasons of a yoga and meditation guided series that would have paid her $10.1 million per actual season, roughly, as it turns out, per season. Now, missing out now on $30 million plus after she was fired. Now, Fonda recently delivered the following. There is an obvious attack on Hollywood, she says right now, because of MAGA and Trump supporters, and they feel that Charlie's death gives them the freedom to do as they please, to ruin the business of others. This is why so many actors and actresses that represent my industry that I have been a part of for decades are under pressure right now, and are dealing with many financial cutbacks, including myself. As much as I hate to admit that, it's true, and it's because of MAGA's obsession with the passing of Charlie Kirk, and using what happened to him as a political grab. To have the audacity to go out of your way to convince others to no longer support the many fine actors that represent this industry is so disheartening and really does split your spirit. Another thing I absolutely dread to admit here is that I have lost fans. I have lost those that have followed my work for years, because of MAGA convincing them that the talent that represents Hollywood is using political propaganda. And that is so far from the truth. It's just absurd to even think like that. And it's just crushing to see so many Americans to just eat that up about what Hollywood stands for. It's not about pushing an ideology, it never was. It's about revolutionizing the way that we provide entertainment to the world. Now guys, let me just say one thing about that. Now, we have seen a lot of studios like Disney using their movies, using their TV shows to obviously push an ideology, to push an agenda, or to double down on political propaganda. We've seen that time and time again with other studios as well besides Disney. So for Jane Fonda to say that Hollywood never engaged in anything like that is an outright lie. I think that millions of people have actually really woke up to the reality of the situation in just the past 2 weeks about what Hollywood is all about, especially after Charlie Kirk's death, after his assassination took place on the 10th of September. A lot of people are waking up rapidly. And I think that's why you have a lot of these actors and actresses getting very defensive, getting very bitter over the fact that they're losing millions of fans. They're dealing with the consequences of their comments, whether it was about Trump or Charlie Kirk or both, and they really just don't know how to cope with the fact that it's losing themselves jobs, right? It's their own actions that's leading to that point. It's not the people per se. Now, she goes on to continue, the only thing that MAGA and Trump are doing to this long-standing industry is by causing many financial setbacks for so many hard-working creatives out there that sacrifice so much of their time to get into these roles on a deep level, only to be called names later on. I have dealt with this my entire life, but more so recently, since Trump took office again earlier this year. It's a damn shame that this is what our country has turned to, where you can just lose your hard-earned fans at the flip of a dime based on outlandish claims made by this president and his outrageous supporters that really know nothing about politics. I mean, that's just the reality of it all. MAGA knows nothing about what it means to be either Republican or a Democrat. Now, look, we know that Jane Fonda obviously is getting very defensive for obvious reasons. Like I pointed out before, she lost tons of fans, she lost a lot of, money, she lost millions of dollars, $30 million, by the way, it turns out. They wanted to do $10 million plus per season to pay out to Jane Fonda for that fitness series that was going to actually consist of yoga and guided meditation, etc., something that she would be able to do in her 80s, essentially. Now, we know one thing about all of this is that she's obviously turning the entire situation into a political rant, right? We all know that she's using Charlie Kirk's assassination to push her anti-Trump messaging, and it backfired, and she doesn't know how to deal with that whole situation that just backfired on her, all the comments that backfired on her career. Now, she goes on to conclude, they are just opportunists. And when you call it out like that, it definitely shows their true selves where the masks come off. Then blaming Hollywood is nothing more than a scapegoat for the failed policies that they support. So for her to go out of her way to say that people that follow Trump, people that support President Trump's policies are scapegoating or just using Hollywood as a scapegoat, it makes no sense at all by any means. People are just calling out the nonsense, those that lack common sense, and that's all there is to it. People just want to deal with actors and actresses that stick to, their work, that stick to promoting their movies and television shows, whatever it may be, and not getting political. This is exactly why I say we need a lot more younger talent, coming in, new talent that we have never seen before, that aren't really connected to politics at all whatsoever. And look, they could have a political opinion all they want. I mean, it's a free country, after all. But the way a lot of these actors and actresses use it as a way to force it onto their fans and get so angry over the fact that they don't follow it, that's when you do have a, crossing the line situation. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about Jane Fonda, how she's coping with the fact that she lost millions of dollars and fans, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.